Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. We're live. All right. Okay, I'm actually pretty excited for today. What's up, everyone? I'm actually pretty excited. We're going to react to the Spider-Man trailer. My opinion was that this was the first time that I've actually been excited for the MCU Spider-Man, just because I don't think we got a real Spider-Man since the MCU has started. Mainly because he was like Iron Boy or Iron Lad or whatever you want to call him. He didn't feel like anything from the comics. He was in high school. There was good writing, but it just wasn't, like the Spider-Man we know. Even if you never read the comics, just from the cartoons to the TV show, or not the TV show, but like cartoons, and then the movies, even the TASM Spider-Man, which are terrible, you kind of got like a pretty solid baseline. And this was like just completely different, No Uncle Ben, just an Aunt May. But yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to react to it, and we're gonna actually see. We might do some other trailer reactions today too, but we're gonna see if it's gonna be any good. I'm excited because this is the first time where we got a clean slate out of any of the heroes in the MCU, where like they could really start fresh. There's some worries I have, but after the trailer we could kind of see, and then I'll break it down too. So let's get into it. Okay.
I can't believe our first hit at my team! MJ, come on, pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
I can't.
I knew it!
Alright, just say Andrew Garfield.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You don't remember me, but we used to know each other. Something bad was going to happen, and the only way to stop it was to make everyone forget about me.
Okay, so it looks like Kingpin is no longer the mayor?
Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
What the hell, Frank? You just hit me with a van!
Put your whip. Suit yourself.
Okay.
Mother.
Go home!
And sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard thing, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart.
Alright, hell yeah.
What is happening to me?
Oh, God.
Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your help.
What did you say your name was? If DNA is mutating, it would be enormously dangerous.
Spiders have 3 life cycles. When between cycles, it can leave the spider vulnerable to threats.
We are faced with a danger that we can't control. One we can't even see. Stay out of my way.
Oh, hold up.
Stay out of my way.
So that's not what he's saying. I don't know if you guys noticed, like the words, the dialogue isn't matching up with his lips. Saying something else.
You're losing it, kid.
And for those spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of
Boomerang, tarantula, the hand. Wait. What's going on with his eyes? He has like this red. Alright.
rebirth.
Nice flowers.
Oh, they're a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ.
I'm just a neighbor from across the hall.
Friendly neighbor.
Okay. All right. I have thoughts. Okay. Yeah, I might keep the headphones on just because. Okay. Well, nah. All right. So I'm not a fan of MJ and Ned. Okay. From my point of view, it's like after we saw No Way Home, MJ and Ned, he put aside because like he was going to go tell him already. He brought the note. He went inside the cafe that they were working at, and he's a freak. He decided not to tell him anything because he felt like they were gonna have a better life. And I think that video is from before, like that he sees in the beginning. It's from before before the whole memory wipe. So like, does the technology still have the memories and videos of Peter Parker showing that he's Spider-Man, or Spider-Man showing that he's Peter Parker, and then like, you know, people have memories in video but don't have their memories? That kind of like creates a problem. Overall, I think it's a 6 out of 10. I think 10 out of 10 in terms of piquing curiosity and getting people to get hyped for this. Kind of weird that they've only launched this trailer 3 months before it's released, July 30th. I will probably go through it again. I think we kind of need to. He finally said something very Spider-Man-like, which is Spider-Man needs to do the right thing even if it hurts Peter Parker. I'm like, heck yeah. That's what we've been wanting to see from him, you know. There's a lot of villains. There's going to be a lot of heroes. We know Daredevil's already been rumored to be in it. The girl that plays this new chick I don't think she looks anything like Jean Grey, but she's going to play Jean Grey. It looks like they're going to introduce the X-Men. And let's go through the trailer. We're going to, but overall, I think it's a good overall trailer. I think there's a lot of things they're hiding, but there's a lot of things that really get you hyped for it. But let's start breaking it down. Okay. So we got Boomerang, Scorpion, Tarantula, and either one or two other villains that we see here, like the guy that with the hoodie putting his hands out like that. I don't know who that is. And the other one is whatever entity is going for, like, possessing. I think it could be Mephisto, and the reason I say that is because they're probably gonna deal, like, the MCU is a little known to change powers and dynamics of certain villains and heroes, so they could go all for the whole demon side. And I think Marvel's cinema in general, not the MCU, but cinema in general. You know, we saw where in Ghost Rider, Mephisto is just the devil. It's just Mephistopheles. It's not somebody who might be the devil or pretending to be the devil and is just almost just as powerful. But regardless, I think it might be Mephisto. It could be Jean Grey, like just possessing their mind and going to like body to body, or because they're doing the whole cocoon thing, it could be Madam Web. Do I want the Sony Madam Web in it? Freak no. Am I okay with a different Madam Web? I'd be okay with it. It would be very Spider-Man like. And we'll talk about my reservations for this film, but let's go through the trailer again. It's okay.
I can't believe our first hit MIT.
Again, MIT is in Boston. So why is he seeing MJ and Ned? And apparently they live right across the hall. So they're commuting like 6 hours to MIT. Because Queens is pretty freaking far from, or just New York. Let's just say New York. It's hella far from Boston. I used to live right next to MIT. Ain't nobody commuting like that.
MJ, come on. Pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
Derpy was met to you. Okay. Like I'd say I was pretty excited, but I'm gonna break down the trailer.
I can't.
I knew it!
We're not gonna full on hate on it. Okay. I like this scene right here. Again, this is Sony.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You don't remember me, but we used to know each other. Something bad was gonna happen, and the only way to stop it was to make everyone forget about me.
Okay, everything he's saying I don't have a problem with. My only real big issue is that I feel like we already got this part at the end of No Way Home, where he's moved on from Ned and MJ. He has to go live his own life, and he's again thinking about telling them through a letter again. At least that's the vibe it gives. Now, again, the MCU, especially for Spider-Man trailers, they've been known to edit the crap out of trailers. And, you know, like, for instance, it bothers me that the Hand, we don't have Wolverine attacking the Hand. We have Spider-Man. And Spider-Man versus the Hand, like, Spider-Man would beat the living crap out of him. It wouldn't even be a challenge. But let's keep going. Let's see what's going on.
Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
Okay, I can't tell if New York, that was like just destruction or destruction by this from the snap where like they're still rebuilding. But yeah, it's a good trailer, but it's the fourth film that's just exists because money. Yeah, Sony does have to keep up films to keep the license, but and I agree with you because of the cameos. Like we have the Hulk in it, Bruce Banner. I think two reasons why he's in here is mainly because in terms of the real world, Mark Ruffalo needs some good press because nobody's liking him. He's just too political outside of being in a movie. And the other reason, I think they're replacing Dr. Connors with the Hulk, and we're going to get a cameo of the Hulk. You know, the Savage Hulk, and it could be like a mix of... Like, the rumor is that the 2012 Hulk is responsible for Peter Parker's parents' death, and that he was one of the people that developed the super spiders that also got to Peter Parker. So that might be why he goes to Dr. Banner in ESU, which is the... I forget what's the college, the Empire University or whatever. That's ESU is the same one where Dr. Connors is supposed to be working at, but I don't know why they didn't bring in Dr. Connors. I don't know why they didn't keep it just very simple, just all Spider-Man. And I'm okay with the Punisher because the Punisher's first appearance is in Spider-Man. Yeah. Yeah, it does feel like Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3. There's too many villains, too much stuff going on. But, you know. And I'm not giving it the benefit of the doubt, but this gets me way more excited than Doomsday, I gotta tell you.
What the hell, Frank? You just hit me with a van!
Put your woodwork. Suit yourself.
Okay, so they both know each other. I don't know why he shot Spider-Man, unless he knows that it's not going to affect him, but bullets could still penetrate his skin. He doesn't have impenetrable skin. So I want to know if he like just had birdshot in his gun, which would be weird. So I don't know. But we get to see the Power Rangers kick. Boom.
Mother.
Go home!
All right. Again, with Frank Castle being in this movie, I think it's super important to make it way more mature. Not rated R, but very serious. Because there has to be a point for Frank Castle being in it, and then they said Daredevil's going to be in it, also has to have a point. I hope all the MJ stuff and the Ned stuff is like early on, and then we get none of them for the rest of the movie. I really hope that's what it is.
To do the hard thing, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart. What is happening to me?
Okay, so he does get organic web shooters, and he's in the cocoon. So we might get to see, like, whether in real life or in a dream, the man spider. I don't know if it's gonna look good with the CGI. It might look freaking weird, or he's gonna grow like 6 arms. I wonder if they're gonna introduce Madam Web into the MCU through this, where like he's trying to find who she is, so that he can like get some guidance. I wonder if they say that, like, you know, the 3 stages of the spider, where he maybe gets a little more aggressive, maybe more violent, but he gets the organic web shooter, so I think that's a good addition. I've always thought he should have organic web shooters, even from the comics before, even when I was a kid, before the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I just thought it made way more sense for you to have those powers. That's just me, though.
Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your
See, he's
help.
wearing it. Yes,
What did you say your name was?
Oh, let me see. Okay, superior strength, superior agility, blah, 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 blah. I don't know how you'd measure that, but...
Excuse me, Dr. Banner.
Okay, let's see. ESU. So Dr. Banner is wearing the freaking the She-Hulk thing to make him not turn into Hulk.
I need your help.
So Quark,
What did you say your name was?
quantum chromodynamics. That's what he's teaching.
If DNA is mutating, it would be enormously dangerous.
May Parker.
Spiders have 3 life cycles.
I wonder who this is. So we got the Arbiter in here. I wonder what the narrator. Wonder what role is he's gonna play.
Spiders have 3 life cycles.
And some, it looks like by the judge of the hand, looks like a young kid.
When between cycles, it can leave
Okay, so that's the same tank that Frank Castle was after.
the vulnerable to threats.
We are faced with a danger that we can't control. One we can't even see.
Okay, so I wonder who this guy is. He's just talking to him in a meeting. You know, so we can't see. Yeah, I think it could be Mephisto or Jean Grey. She possesses people. She freezes time, kind of. It could, like, there could be a lot of introduction to X-Men because the Hand is in here. So, you know, who knows? Maybe Wolverine will be in here as well. I want to know who the freak this is. Stay out of my way.
Stay out of my...
See, like I'm just gonna let it play through. His voice isn't matching up to the dialogue, so I don't know what he's trying to say to Spider-Man or to somebody.
One we can't even see. Stay out of my way.
Okay, I'm not super mad at the suit, the Scorpion suit. I think he should have the helmet. I feel like he's gonna be able to get in and out of it because J. Jonah Jameson commissions the Scorpion, right, in the comics, and then he's stuck in the suit, so he can't get out of the suit. So it's almost like tragic villain type deal. Like he's trying to be a hero and all that, but we do get to see that he's a criminal, and you know, maybe the Vulture told him who Peter Parker was, but then got his mind erased, but he still, or who Spider-Man was, got his mind erased, all that. There's also the theory that Hulk is a different type of being. He's more mystic, so the Hulk knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So we might get a glimpse of that. Again, it's a lot of story to pack in one movie, and I feel like they're trying to use Spider-Man to set up a ton of stuff in the MCU, which I don't think... Like, this is your... Spider-Man is Marvel's Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman combined. Like, Spider-Man is just... That's what Spider-Man is. Like, all the other characters, Iron Man, you know, Captain America, all the Avengers, they're nothing. If you combine all of them, they're nothing compared to what Spider-Man is.
You're losing it, kid.
Okay.
And for those spiders
Again, I don't want to see MJ.
You're losing it, kid.
I was hoping to get redheaded MJ, a different MJ, actually Mary Jane Watson. Ned, I don't think Ned, like the actor, has to lose a ton of weight for him to be Hobgoblin, or else he's just gonna be called the Pumpkin. You know, like, like if Ned does not lose weight, the actor, and they try to make him Hobgoblin, I'm gonna call him the Pumpkin. There ain't no way. But yeah.
And for those spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of
Boomerang. Forgot like kind of missed that in the first time around.
rebirth.
Nice flowers.
Oh, they're a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ.
I'm just a neighbor from across the hall.
Friendly neighbor.
Like, I like the joke, but it just doesn't make sense. You're MIT and you're there. What the freak? Okay, so let's see. We got the Hand. We got Scorpion. We got Boomerang. We got Tarantula. Those are the 4 villains right now that are official. But then we got some other entity, right? So we almost got a Sinister Six going on, you know? And we know there's been a few actors that have been cast in this movie that we don't see here. So we got 5 villains in a new Spider-Man, you know, like, obviously this isn't taking place right after No Way Home. It's taking place probably a year or 2 later, because, and the reason I say that is because Frank Castle and Spider-Man know each other. And then in terms of heroes, we're going to get Daredevil, Spider-Man, Punisher, the Hulk, and I hope there's nobody else. I honestly didn't want to see Daredevil or Punisher. And look, my wife's not a comic book fan, but we watched No Way Home together, and she even pointed out when Daredevil caught the brick, it was like, why would he do that? What? Like, if anything, he'd be sneaky about it. He'd put his cane over there, and the brick would hit it. But also, Peter Parker would catch it because of his spider sense. And, you know, obviously made me fall in love with my wife even more, because it's like, you just nerded out like I would nerd out. Just using simple logic, right? But also, so that's where I think we're going to have to watch Daredevil Season 2 to understand where this story is going. We might get to see Spider-Man in Daredevil Season 2, from my guess. Just because, you know, there's a new mayor. There, like, he gets the key to the city. I don't understand why. And this would be a great opportunity to introduce Mary Jane in college and Gwen Stacy doing the science stuff. And he, like, falls in love with, has a new love interest, right? Not a love triangle. I think the cartoon that Disney canceled, The Spectacular Spider-Man, it was a great mix of putting the Amazing and the Spectacular Spider-Man comics together and keeping it, like, going day by day through him in the rest of high school, finishing up high school to get to real life. But then they just canceled the show, and it was freaking amazing. But whatever. Yeah, I am a little worried. I don't think the trailer didn't make me hate it. It made me a little worried. It made me a little excited. But I'm very whelmed. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm not underwhelmed. I'm worried because, again, I want at least a movie to be itself. Like, if it's a Spider-Man movie, I want all Spider-Man villains and characters that Spider-Man deals with in his own realm. And then later on, we could have a second movie where a new hero is introduced, or a villain's introduced, or even have him Spider-Man cameo in, like, the Daredevil series. That I'd be okay with that, you know. I'd be even okay if, like here's what I don't understand. Okay, the mayor is giving him the key to the city. It's after the blip. It's after the whole damage from the Doctor Strange multiverses coming in of No Way Home, right? Let alone all the other stuff that's been going on since the blip, Shang-Chi, all that, whatever you want to point out, all that crap, right? So at this point, it'd be really good to introduce the X-Men, but in a way that the government hates all heroes. People are not liking heroes, where some people are starting to like Spider-Man because he's helping out the little guy. They're pointing out the heroes like Daredevil, Spider-Man, helping out the little guy, right? And so to me, I think it's a wasted opportunity. They're just kind of blowing past like all the damage that a 5-year blip could do, and villains taking over and capitalizing on the damage that was done. And also the Avengers screw up for bringing everybody back and exactly how it was, and people being 5 years older, people robbing people's houses, living in a house that's no longer theirs, like governments collapsing, all that stuff. And like this is a complicated thing to do, but at the same time, if you focus on just the city, how this city's feeling, not how the president's reacting to this, like maybe implement a little bit of like the police are after Spider-Man. Nobody, which you kind of got to see like the SWAT team pointing their guns or whatever, but I'm not sure they're pointing it at Spider-Man. They might be pointing it at the old lady, right? Yeah, I think it context of the MCU as it is right now really matters. And again, does this come out after? It comes out after Doomsday, right? Maybe before. When does Doomsday? Let me see. When does Doomsday come out? So Doomsday release date. Okay, this comes out before Doomsday. My bad. December 18th, 2026. Okay. All right, it comes out after, right? Or this one comes out before Doomsday. Okay, cool. Again, we might get a reboot again of Spider-Man because of Doomsday. I think because it's Spider-Man, it's gonna do well. If it fits well written in the writing department, it's gonna do amazing, right? Amazing Spider-Man. It's just really like the lore that we have is complicated, and it's the lore that they chose to go with, right? Like it's they chose to have the 5-year blip. They chose to have Frank Castle in here. Why is he in here? We're gonna have to have a little bit of screen time on him. And then they chose to put Ned and MJ back in. Not Mary Jane Watson, you know, I guess Tom Holland's wife or whatever Zendaya is now. And Ned. But they're in MIT. It's in Boston. It's at least 4 hours from New York. Just border going through. You got to go through Boston and Connecticut, then down to New York. Like Massachusetts, all the way down to New York, right? And you're going to commute to your house. MIT doesn't do work from home type stuff, classes from home. They want you there, brother. Like I've never been a student at MIT, but I've been on MIT campus and did a class like for fun, like not registered, just I was able to sit in a class because they allowed me to, but I'm not a genius or anything like that. I'm actually retarded, but still. Anyways, and then he's like across the hall. I hope it was just a line that he said like, "Oh, I'm just a neighbor across the hall, just want to say hi." And then it's not a memorable thing, and then he's just kind of like, "Oh, it was good to see them one more time," and then just leaves. And then they're like, "I wonder where this guy lives, this Peter Parker guy," and then kind of brushes from their mind because she's, you know, into some other dude. But in terms of lore, I'm not super like ecstatic, and I'm not sure if I can believe that they're gonna do a good job with that. So my expectation, and this is based not off the trailer but everything else that's been given, the writing is going to be 50-50, where it might be halfway good, maybe halfway decent, I don't know. But in terms of this trailer, like it actually got me interested. It got me asking a lot of questions. And this is one of the things I've been pointing out on my channel. By the way, like and subscribe, people. This is one of the things that I've been pointing out on my channel is like the trailer is so important. And people are like, oh, like the Lanterns trailer. Oh, we're not like, you're not giving it a chance. Like, it's just a trailer. I'm like, the trailer is everything. The trailer is your main piece of marketing to get people to watch the film, the show, the series, whatever it is. That's the trailer. Like, a 30-second trailer of a toy is supposed to get you to want to buy that toy. 30 seconds. So like, don't tell me the trailer's not important. It's the most important thing before the movie even launches. Like, if you have no trailers, like let's say Spider-Man Brand New Day didn't release a trailer and then it just opened July 30th. Even if it's good and it's Spider-Man, it's still going to do decent, but not anywhere close as decent as if we got a trailer. And even if the trailer is crappy, it does get people talking. It does get people thinking. Okay? So, I don't know. I have my reservations with Spider-Man. Tom Holland Spider-Man. I'm glad he actually put on some muscle. He actually starting to look a little older, so that's really good. The suit is phenomenal. I think it's fantastic. I am a sucker for the Tobey Maguire suit. I just think like the sleek lines of Spider-Man from the back and the front is just and like it's very big. It's just very much I don't know, it's just cool. It's very comic-y, and then he has like the mad eyes. It's not really rounded. I've always liked the rounded in the cartoons and especially in the comic books. But like ever since we got like the mad looking eyes, I thought it was really cool. Tobey Maguire. But that's me being subjective. I think objectively this is one of the more, actually this is probably the most comic accurate suit. I think so. I would like the spider to be thicker, like the thick spider in the back. And that would make it like perfectly accurate. But I'm glad that he's no longer Iron Boy, right? But that's my take on the Spider-Man movie. I'm not sure if it's going to be good. I think this has a better chance of being good than any other superhero movie that we're going to get this year. I think it has the biggest chance to be well written. I'm a little worried the director isn't from the previous Spider-Man movies. He's the director of Shang-Chi and Wonder Man. Shang-Chi, not a great, well-written story, but Wonder Man was pretty decent. So, and that was the most recent one. So it's like, all right, like the director's like, maybe he's gained some experience and he's doing better than before. So this might be good. I'm willing to give it a chance. Like this trailer hasn't given me hope for the MCU, but it's giving me, some interest. Boomerang. Now, here's what I think they should do with the villains. I think the movie should start off already him fighting a villain and just locking him up. It kind of sets up that this is Spider-Man's day-to-day life. Like, there's the low-level villains to the high-level villains. And, like, he's already putting him away. So then it's like, we got that. Like, maybe Boomerang is, like, right in the beginning. Because Boomerang is not really... To me, he never interested me. And I actually don't know anybody who's like a huge Boomerang fan, But I think, I think it's, I think he should lock that one up. Maybe even Tarantula. I don't know what they're going to do in terms of fleshing out the villains. I think Scorpion. I honestly believe that this film should have just been Spider-Man and Scorpion, and that's it. But this is the movie. We're getting a bunch of cameos. I don't want to really see Hulk. I hope we get to see Dr. Connors working with Bruce Banner and coming up with something. And then maybe I don't want anybody like, I didn't like that Peter Parker had his mask off again fighting the Hand in prison. It is, again, this trailer is all full of comic book covers. Todd McFarlane. It's just like, it was noticeable. If you're a comic book fan, a lot of shots are just like, that's a comic book cover. Boom, that's straight out of the comics. It was nice. It's nice. It's a nice little thing for the real fans, right? But the Hand should be fighting Wolverine before Spider-Man. And it might make sense with the phase that he's in, because in the narrator did say, you know, like you're going to be vulnerable in between transition. So maybe he's having trouble again with his spider sense. You know, but again, Spider-Man's picking up cars. And he's breaking their blades in half with probably his synthetic web shooters. And again, I don't believe this trailer shows us. I think it's just showing us most of the first act, which that's what a trailer should be doing. I think they're hiding quite a bit, because when you have a lot of questions after a trailer, that usually is a good indicator that it's a nice trailer, that when you watch the movie, it's nothing like the trailer you actually saw, but the trailer gave you a base of excitement, and it didn't trick you into watching the movie. You know what I mean? So that's my thoughts on Spider-Man. Like and subscribe, people. Like I don't think it's egregious, but I just don't think it's gonna be crazy good either, you know? So that's Spider-Man for you. All right. Other news. Here's the Star Wars Maul trailer. Okay. Let's start talking about that. The Darth Maul trailer. We'll watch it. We'll react to it. One good thing and here's something crazy. One good thing that Lucasfilm / Disney has figured out with Maul, not the character, but with the show, in terms of how to release something, nobody's able to figure it out, and they're gonna do it the best. Because there's always been the debate of what's best for overall streaming. Is it weekly release or binge watching whatever platform? My wife actually did her thesis on binge watching. Why people binge watch, what's the problem with binge watching, all that stuff. You see, when the Shadow Lord or whatever Darth Maul series, they're going to release 2 episodes per week. So it's like on Tuesday they're releasing something, and then on Thursday or Friday they're releasing something, right? The reason why that's perfect is because people's attention span has shortened, right? And then, so if you binge the series, especially YouTubers, they'll watch the entire thing, they'll stay up, they'll do a review, post it on there, and the discussion is dead, right? Even if it was like the best thing you've ever seen, maybe people talk about it for a month. Let's be generous, a month and a half. Okay, well, you got the rest of the year. You got another 10 months or 11 months, no, 10 and a half months. And that thing is no longer like the talk. Like, I'm going to point out Smallville. It came out once a week, and it had like 30 to 40 episodes a season. And then they had a mid-season break with a big cliffhanger for like 2 weeks to a month. And then went back to it. And then other small breaks. So for at least 8 months out of the year, you're talking about Smallville, and then you pretty much have a summer break, and then you're talking about it for those next 3 months, 3 to 5 months, and then when the series comes back up again, it's like you never left. So that you constantly are discussing it, coming up with theories, debating about it, and it keeps it alive, and it keeps more people interested, and it keeps going. You know, like one of the most watched episodes in TV history, like putting Game of Thrones aside, was the Aquaman show, like episode of Smallville, and it's not even like that great of an episode. It's just, you know, we're finally getting a bunch of freaking DC stuff that was halfway decent. But anyways, and then the binge model, like it doesn't matter whether you like it or not, like it does play well sometimes, but overall it doesn't keep the excitement alive. Where Marvel or DC could have been doing stuff is after one show ends, a new show begins. So it's one after the other. So the MCU would be constantly talked about. Unfortunately, since most of their stuff sucks, they don't talk about it no more. It's like the best way is a hybrid of both, where the show, like Darth Maul, is going to come out every 3 days or so. That way you're constantly talking about it. And Star Wars needs that. Is it going to be good? No, it's not going to be good. Is it going to bring back Star Wars? Freak no, it's not going to bring it back. But that's what you need to do. You need to keep the talk alive. When you see hype, you know, like what did the Lanterns trailer do? It brought in a bad hype, but it still brought in hype, right? People were talking about the trailer, and then we saw people started digging for past interviews, and then there was the whole Grant Morrison deal with him calling out the creator of the show. But then Ethan Van Sciver, one of the comic artists, did an interview with a YouTuber, and he has his own YouTube channel, and he pointed out like how he's excited for the show, but Grant Morrison did talk about how like it's like he wrecked the showrunner, right? He's like, you shouldn't have said that. This is ridiculous. Like Green, like you don't disparage the fans. But then, and we'll probably, I'll show the tweet, or not the tweet, the Instagram post that what's his face, the Green Lantern showrunner said. But I digress. I probably didn't. I wasn't very articulate in that point of putting together of what's the best model, but if you can keep the talk alive, that's the best model. Binge model is not the best. It's fun, it's nice so that you can watch the entire series all at once, but it is not the best thing for the fandom, for keeping the conversation alive. It just isn't. Okay, now let's go to the Shadow Lord trailer. Let's see if my interest in Star Wars comes back. I doubt it, but you know, you always got to give it a shot.
Target is a syndicate leader.
All right, start over.
Our target is a syndicate leader. He is associated with several criminal organizations and proficient with a laser sword.
Was that Savage Opress? No, it's not. It's just more Dathomirians. Okay, that was pretty cool.
The Empire tried to kill me. Their betrayal demands consequence. And that consequence requires a weapon. Together, we can destroy the Empire.
He wants to fight as allies.
The Empire may be our common enemy, but Maul will never be our ally.
We need to find him, whatever it takes.
This is escalating out of our hands. The Empire will
Is that Sabine?
It's escalating out of our hands. The Empire will want answers.
The ships look cool. I don't care about this
guy. The Empire will lock this planet down.
Oh, God.
Jedi, where is Maul? I'm right here.
Nice. That's sick.
Let us have our revenge.
Alright. Again, remember how I said, like, it's stupid that the trailers do this? Like, dude, give it its own identity. Go back to the freaking music. Please. Just give it Star Wars music. It pisses me off, like, oh, this is whatever. Right here.
gonna take out the whole empire.
And don't give me that crap that like, oh, they're putting Duel of Fates mix. Like, man, shut up. Oh, they did a Star Killer thing. Cool. April 6th. Okay. Okay, let me. All right, here's it looks like it's going to be interesting. It looks like it might be fun. Might be a little more serious. Some characters I don't give a damn about in there. But we know how Maul's story ends. And it ends rather pathetically in how Dave Filoni wrote it in Rebels. You know, like he's just kind of a loser, like hermit, and gets tricked by Obi-Wan or Ben Kenobi in a very, which I was okay with that part, but he loses it all. So why would I want to see the journey? Like it looks cool, but I don't want to see Maul anymore, and he's my favorite Star Wars character. It's mainly because like Disney's been effing around with it, and this is also a stab at George Lucas. Like I don't think he did a good job with the Clone Wars. I think it was more damaging to the lore, EU and regular movie lore combined. You know, Dave Filoni has his hand to play. I think he did a worse job, but George Lucas does have part to blame on the Clone Wars, and I think he should have been way more hands-on and should have hired better people for it. But yeah, and then we got Rebels and time travel and all that bull crap. And we had Maul in Rebels, then he dies in Rebels, and it's just now then they did the freaking Darth Maul. Look, I think we're getting this Shadow Lord series because Ray Park has been insane on Instagram and they don't want to deal with it. So instead of actual live action, unfortunately, and I love Ray Park, but unfortunately he's been showing his life to he's been washing his dirty laundry in front of the guests. It's something you don't do. And I think that's why we're not getting a live action Maul show or movies. And I think it's mainly like, think about it. Wouldn't it make way more sense to do something live action to bring people back to Star Wars where it's Maul and then all like, even if it's a series or just a trilogy of Maul doing this, like being the Shadow Lord? Wouldn't that make way more sense? I don't know. I just don't see why we need this. But we're getting it. So, like and subscribe, I guess. The freak. But they do got the whole release thing going for them. People will constantly be talking about it because an episode will be released every 2 or 3 days. So, that's something that no show is doing, that this show's going to do. Every 2 to 3 days, it's going to be released. And so it keeps talk alive. It keeps the show alive. You know, people are going to talk about it. Unless it sucks so hard that only YouTubers talk about it because they make content that we, the fans, look like. Every time somebody talks about Starfleet Academy, I'm out. I turn off the stream. I don't give a damn. Like, I'm not even going to watch it by myself. I don't give a damn because I know it's gay and retarded. So if this show sucks, it's a different level. I'm no longer going to watch it, but I'll watch other YouTubers that are reviewing it, talk about it, and that's where I'm going to get my info from Maul. I'm not going to waste my time if it's a crappy show. Or if it doesn't pique any interest. It might even be a good show, but it's just like, well, Star Wars is dead, so why the freak am I going to keep watching it? You know? So yeah, freaking Darth Maul. I love Darth Maul, but damn, like I'm sick of them using legacy characters and legacy villains to prop up Star Wars. They can't come up with anything new. They can't do anything after their garbage trilogy, and they have to keep messing with the prequels and the originals. Whatever. What freaking ever, man. But okay. There is a topic I wanted to point out. I wanted to talk about this because I have been shocked at the people that comment on some of my videos when I talk about objective writing, something was objectively good, something was objectively bad. Just because you like something doesn't make it good, but it also just because you like it doesn't make it bad either. You know? What makes something objectively good? Okay? It isn't rocket science. Let's break it down. Let me show you the proper definition of objective. Okay. It's a person. If you just type in objective on Google, adjective of a person or their judgment, not influenced by personal feelings or opinions in considering and representing facts. Okay, relating or denoting a case of nouns and pronouns used as the object of a transitive verb or preposition. Noun, a thing aimed at or sought, a goal. Then objective grammar, the objective case. Now, if you type in meaning, objective. What is objective versus subjective? Subjective refers to information shaped by personal feelings, opinions, or taste, whereas objective refers to information based on facts, evidence, and observable reality. So that's the most important part. Observable reality, facts, and evidence, information based off those things. Okay? Subjective is biased and internal. Objective is unbiased and verifiable. Right? Cause and effect. When you're writing a universe, there's a few factors you want to take into consideration. Politics, geography, powers, and like power structure. Well, let's talk about it and I'll freaking go through it, okay? So, let's take superheroes, right? What did the MCU did right? Did really correct, right? They introduced Iron Man and that was it. That was their base. Okay? Then they did a really good job implementing Hulk, Captain America, Black Widow, Thor, and Hawkeye. Okay, boom, you got a solid team there. There's implications if Hulk is doing Hulk things in different cities, like Brazil. If you write, like he's in Brazil, right, in the beginning of the MCU, and he turns into the Hulk and he's doing whatever he is doing in the factory, all this stuff. There's an implication, like if there's a hero in Brazil and they have certain powers, why didn't they intervene when this happened? What age were they? Like that. There's a lot of things when something happens in a city. Why didn't a hero that is part of that city intervene at the time as well? Why didn't we see anything happening? What, like, it creates an issue in writing, but it doesn't make it permanently bad. Like it's just you have to really think it through. So then the power structure. If you have a guy who's just like Superman, why isn't he handling pretty much everything? Why isn't he just like getting rid of all the villains in Gotham? Well, you have to realize that he can't be in everywhere at once. He has to be careful with his abilities. There is kryptonite in the world. There's people constantly after Superman. So like you introduce villains. The villains are one of the more important parts of grounding an ungrounded hero. Okay? When it comes to geography, it's probably one of the most important parts into why a hero is there. What is their purpose of being there? And then you got to write things about like jobs and politics. And you don't have to be explicit in terms of politics. Like this hero believes in this. That's why he's in this state. But you have to, like sometimes politics is going to play a way of why the police are acting in a certain way. Why the National Guard is intervening. Why this military is intervening. Or like if you write a hero or a villain in an oppressive country, what was happening to them, and how did it shape who they are and their mindset. Like Magneto being Jewish in World War II, how it shaped his resolve and his understanding of the world, and what leads to him to think that mutants are superior than humans, and they must eradicate all humans and push mutants to the rightful place of on the evolutionary scale, right? And everything that happened to him. You know, it's also like sometimes simple things. Like if you look at X-Men 3, The Last Stand, terrible movie, but it speaks to his character. Like, why doesn't Magneto have a bunch of tattoos? You know, that as stupid as that might sound, that is actually a decent question. And then he points out that, like, you know, like a lot of the underground mutants in that universe had tattoos to leave their mark that they're a mutant or whatever. And then he points out that his number from when he was in during the Holocaust, right? And he's like, nobody will ever, like, this is my mark. Nobody will ever touch me with a needle again or whatever, or mark me again. And it's like, all right, like he has like this certain, you know, thought or certain standards. And it also speaks to his personality. Like, I know I'm not being super eloquent about all this, but it was shocking to me that people didn't understand what objective versus subjective is. You know, subjective is literally like your own bias and why you like something. But there's no, and it can't be proven by fact other than you saying you like it. Like when there's cause and effect, like why did, like the question why is the most important question in storytelling, where if a character does something, why did they do it and what happens after? Why and what are two questions. It can't be like the Superman movie is the one that people get on my case the most, where I tell them like this is not a good movie, the James Gunn Superman movie. And I have no idea why they can't like just get past their own bias and realize that like you can like it, but you also have to point out its flaws if you're going to claim it to be good or bad. You can't just say something's bad and then never defend that, and you can't say something's good and never defend that, right? So like, why did the engineer tell the other characters when she was in the Fortress of Solitude, I gave up my humanity to kill Superman or to serve Lex or whatever the line was? Wouldn't you assume that all those characters in there already knew that, especially Lex? Why is she saying that? She said it because literally no explanation in universe, just because the script said it so that there's exposition to the audience. But instead of having something where like maybe she meets a guy in the story and somebody asks like did maybe she's interrogated by the police and like, why did Lex do this to you? You could tell us, we'll protect you. And then she could be like, I did this to myself. I gave up my humanity to go after Superman, and this is my motivation. Where there's like exposition, but it makes sense of why we're getting that information. But she just says it, and it's pretty much like, you know, the whole Jim meme when someone says something, he just looks at the camera like, that's pretty much what she did. You know, or those old jokes in like sitcoms where they say something like, yeah, and I would never do that. And then they just look at the camera like, that's what she did. It is objectively bad because there's no reasoning in universe for her saying that stuff. That's a bad line. You know, or like how human reaction works. Like Lex is just walking and blades are flying through, like literally like this close to his face. Doesn't matter even if you're a trained military guy, something is coming to your face this close, this freaking close to split something in half. You're going to flinch. You're going to beware. You're going to be like it was objectively bad that they made him walk like that. You know what I mean? Because you're lucky that it hit it in the perfect way where it didn't touch you. Ricochets happen. Accidents happen. You know? And it's a trope in movies where like somebody has a blade and they just cut through something and the vehicle or the object splits in half. If something cuts half, the two things still keep going forward. It doesn't just separate. Unless it's a blade like this, when something comes in right here, then the two things will go in different directions. But if it's just one blade like that, and it's all you're doing is cutting it in half. You're not separating it to two different directions, right? But yeah, so just pointing out those scenes, that's objective, like cause and effect, critical thinking, why someone is walking that certain way. Why, like, if Lex Luthor was a robot walking that way, that makes a lot of sense because it's programmed to walk that way. Lex Luthor is a human being, as intelligent as he is. He's not going to be able to calculate something that's uncalculable, like a blade flying through the air during a combat scenario where robots are attacking you and you need to destroy it. Like, you don't know what the reaction's going to be, what kind of freak accidents. There's variables, like, do they have a bomb? There's things that you could not calculate going in the Fortress of Solitude. You just know that the way to get in there is through the DNA. Also, not explained on how he understood that. But anyways, so that's like a simple form of what is objective. Why do we write this way? What is how do we make how do we tell a good story, right? Man, next time I'll write a script and maybe I'll do a video about this stuff. I'm working on a video right now about taxes and Roman Empire and, how it affects our lives and how it could be better. But yeah, storytelling, objectivity, you have to explain why somebody says something. What, in universe, what is it showing us? What is the entire story telling us? What's the implications of something? And why does it make us act a certain way or feel a certain way? Everything has an implication. Every scene has some sort of message to get across to move to the next scene. It can't be an and-then story. Like, he fought an alien and then unicorns fell out of the sky. Where's the explanation of why there's unicorns falling out of the sky to connect fighting an alien? He's fighting an alien, and this alien possesses certain powers that open up a dimension, and this is an intergalactic alien that we know nothing of, that swallows planets, and we already got that backstory. And then it opened this portal where it brings out fantasies, and it connected to the innocence of the world, and then unicorns start coming out, but they're all fake and they're not real and whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like these things that we already know that if certain things happen, that's the effect. That's the cause and the effect. That's the consequence. If I punch you in the face on your right side, you shouldn't have a black eye on your left side. That's bad. I don't know how else to point that out. It's a really simple thing. But yeah, anyways, that's all I want to talk about today. I think the Spider-Man trailer is pretty decent. I'm not super excited for it, but I'm not hating on it. Overall, in terms of superhero stuff, probably the most excited I'm going to be about any superhero stuff coming out this year. Just honestly. But I will actually, let me point out this. Okay. Let me go to Instagram. What's that freaking guy's name? Lantern's showrunner. Okay. Chris, what the freak? Head writer of the upcoming HBO series Lanterns on Ozark. What? Investigation focusing on Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan. With Damon Lindelof. There's 3 showrunners now? When did this happen? Chris Mundy? Maybe I was just out of the loop. Damon Lindelof, or whatever his name is. Okay, let me see. Damon. Where are you, Damon Lindelof? Okay. And okay, so this is Damon Lindelof's post. Green Lantern. So he made a joke on a comedy skit, comedy panel. I don't think he needed to apologize. I don't think he needed to apologize for it. All honesty. I think he should have clarified and been like, hey, this was a joke, guys. I don't feel this way. I don't hate on the Green. I actually really love this character, and I really want you guys to see this trailer. Maybe it didn't do justice of what the show is going to be like, but I promise you it stays true to the Green Lantern core, it stays true to the comics, and it's going to make people who are Green Lantern fans even more of a Green Lantern fan. That's something what he should have said. He went a different route. He believed he needed to apologize. He didn't need to. Okay? But it does give, I think it made me want to watch Green Lantern even more because he apologized. Again, if he clarified and said like, look, Grant Morrison chewed me out. These comic book writers chewed me out, and it's people I looked up to, and they have all right to be doing that. But I do want to clarify that that's not, I don't feel that at heart. It was just a joke on a comedy panel, and I get that like the fandom is really worried, but I made a great show, and I believe it's this way. And maybe it isn't going to be a great show, but he's letting us know that he actually cares about the fans. Okay. I have upset Grant Morrison. If you guys don't know Grant Morrison, look him up. Creator of Bane, all that stuff. Saw it. Which means I have now pissed off most of the brilliant / Scottish comic writers that I grew up idolizing. To quote the bard, Otis Redding, this is nobody's fault but mine. I made a dumb joke on a comedy podcast. I'm not going to bob and weave about context. The joke was dumb. The fandom is not. I owe them an explanation and a genuine reflection of my actual feelings. The very first time I appeared on a Comic-Con panel was for The Lost Pilot. Back in the summer of 2004, I wore my favorite t-shirt as I had long grown out of my favorite underoos, those being the uniform of Hal Jordan, Green Lantern of Sector 2814. For a quiet, uncoordinated kid, there was nothing cooler than a hero whose superpower was his imagination. And green is not stupid. It is my lifelong favorite color, and I have a questionnaire that I filled out in the 3rd grade to prove it. Green is effing awesome. That doesn't really make me happy that he said green is effing awesome. By the way, let me see if I... no, my bad. I know you can't... Here, let me move this real quick, just so you could see. He's wearing a Green Lantern shirt. All right? Like, that's pretty cool. All right. Like, you didn't need a cuss, dude. But whatever. But that's you. Like, I'm thinking too much of like the show and whatnot. Okay, my bad. More importantly, it would be a betrayal to everyone I worked for and alongside to say anything other than I was absolutely honored to be a part of the team that manifested the incredible construct that is Lanterns. Because it was. I was sloppy and careless with my words. Ironic considering I cared so much about Hal, John, and the entire Corps. I can and will do better to be worthy of the oath. Until then, I'll let the show speak for itself, and I can't wait for you all to hear what it has to say. Dude, awesome, great response. Again, I don't think you need to apologize. I think that last little bit, I can and will do better to be worthy of the oath. I really hope you guys don't joke around, because we saw one of the animated movies. They joked around the oath, like, "Are you serious?" or whatever. It needs to be taken seriously. The oath is freaking awesome. But yeah, this response is going to give me... This response has made me want to watch the Lanterns more than the trailer ever did, right? And I think, I'm not saying I'm excited because the trailer is still the trailer. I still think the trailer is a really crappy trailer. But from this response, like, let me go see. Like, he did a good job in the beginning of Lost, did a terrible job with Watchmen, so I still have my reservations. That was garbage. Tom King sucks. The guy sucks. Major chode. Terrible comic writer. But we'll see. Okay, he's a fan. I hate that the Lanterns are cussing, saying the F word. I really hope there's no freaking tits and dick in it. Like, I don't want to see nudity. I really hope there is a lot of green. The suits suck, but who knows? Maybe there's a really good story. All right. Nathan Fillion wrote, the joke was funny, no harm, no foul. Keep up the great work. We appreciate you. James Gunn, Green Heart. Damon, anybody who knows anything about you and follows your work knows you are the best thing that could happen to the franchise. That's a lie. Out there, Lanterns or otherwise, we have complete faith in you. Nope, we do not. Thank you for addressing this matter. Gunverse. Nice. Okay, cool. Keep up the good work. Happy to have a fan at the helm. Yeah, that's what we're happy about. Who could predict your Watchmen show would rival the book one? Dude, the Watchmen show sucked dick. Okay, no. The Hooded Justice or origin story is the best hero origin. Stan Ditko created Peter Parker. Okay, whatever, dude. Y'all are good in my book, dude. All right. I like the trailer. I cannot wait for the show. I'm truly excited, Mr. Lindelof. You are real. You are real for this. We love you. We all will be watching. Lanterns are excited for it. You are a nerd like us. Cheers to the series. Hopefully. Screen Rant. We were there. Okay, whatever. Screen Rant. All right. Great. Like, you have done the right thing to address what your heart, how you really feel. Again, the tone of the show will speak for itself. I'm all for overhyping a show, and then all you have to do is deliver. Again, we'll see. I'm judging from the trailer, judging from your past work, I'm not excited. Judging from what you said, this has done more than all of James Gunn's garbage talk, all of his terrible movies. This has done more for DC than anything James Gunn has done. And that's just the truth, man. So good job on that, Damon Lindelof. Again, I'm not your fan, but you saying something like this, all right, I'll give it a shot. I'll watch it. I'll watch Lanterns, but I'm still gonna be fair on it. If it sucks, man, and I'm gonna call you out. But we're there. We are there. Damon Lindelof, everybody, like and subscribe. All right. Well, in terms of today's stream, Derpy, by the way, thanks for hopping in the stream. I'm very... Well, we'll talk about some stuff hopefully on Sunday. But I did see that the Jack Ryan thing is back. I'm not a Jack Ryan fan. I know some of you guys want to like see me talk about it. I'm not I'm not the guy to point that out. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I still have yet to watch. But yeah. Over on Kick, you bots suck me sideways. All right. People are like, "Oh, you're a Kick man." Freaking bots on Kick, dude. Pissing me off. But yeah. Let's see the Jar Jar Binks stuff, Henry Cavill, Superman. All right. Give me a second, ladies. Again, I don't think I'll react to the Dune trailer. I still haven't watched the first two movies. I don't really give a damn. But yeah, anyways, I think we'll leave it there. I'm probably gonna just go to watch other people's streams because I'm chilling today. By the way, I have a new video out. I reacted to Critical Drinker's video. Somehow it wasn't Critical Drinker. I got copyrighted by Warner Brothers, I think. They claim like I'm using behind the scenes video. I'm like, Yeah, but nobody else got copyright. Why the freak am I getting copyright? This is some bull. But it's doing pretty good. It's my first video that did more than 300 views. So I'm happy. We're getting there, ladies. We're getting there. Let me actually... We might react to a Nerdrotic Daily video right now. I just saw that he posted an hour ago, right when this stream started, about the Damon Lindelof stuff. Hopefully. All right, let's check it out. Let's check it out.
Nerdrotic.com.
Get what you fucking deserve, eh?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
You know, two of his childhood heroes have both just shit all over his versions of their work.
I know. That's the funniest part. That is absolutely the funniest part. So here we go. Here's the original.
So, dude, Mahler is freaking hilarious.
You just announced a Green Lantern show.
I guess we'll rewatch this again.
It's called Lanterns because we all agreed that the green was stupid. So, right. So now it's just Lanterns.
Didn't there some nervous laughter, by the way, by the audience after that?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of laughter.
That was some nervous laughter.
I hate to do this. What, like, mechanically is the joke if you deliver it that way? You know, something I was talking to Free about, I was like, let me guess, you don't think Batman sounds stupid or Spider-Man, right? And I'm sure you'd be like, well, no. And he'd be like, but Man-Bat, a lot of people are like, that sounds silly. And it's like, why do you think that is? Why do you think Batman is considered not really silly at this point, but Man-Bat is? It's like, well, probably because one has got major exposure thanks to projects like this. Once you have enough of it, it'll be less and less people thinking it's insane or strange. There's this fucking cowardice and insecurity in Hollywood about like, oh, these are very silly names. We can't have this. And it's like one of the most iconic role models in fiction.
He's making very good points, I understand the joke, but again, we know Hollywood, and this isn't contradicting what I was saying before, where like because of what Damon Lindelof actually said in the Instagram post, I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt, but at least he knows that he offended the fans, and he's pointing out that he really loves Green Lantern, and he wants to at least do right about the comic book heroes of his and the fans. Do I believe he's going to do it? No, but because that he recognized his idiocy, and I think that post did more for DC than James Gunn has done for DC. I'll give it a shot. A very skeptical shot.
Silly name. What bugs me about this is the formula is so simple. If you make an amazing show called Green Lantern, the name starts to be less weird to people like my mum. It starts to be like, because she knows who Superman is. I know this sounds weird, but try to imagine zero context that you're familiar with of this, and someone says, I've got a character called Superman. You'd be like, oh, that doesn't sound, But because of culture, because of the way stories develop, because of all the different stories we've been inspired by, Superman, there's no question. That's a great name. It's like, this is what bugs me about all this. Is like, we got to call it Lanterns. We can't call it Green Lantern. That would be crazy.
Insane. And the fact that we're, like you said, Mahler, we're still here is kind of what Grant Morrison, James Gunn's hero, says. Okay. My Green Lantern stories with Liam Sharp ended with the whole universe facing Ultra War, the final war of everything against everything else. Conflict spreads for the stars to the stars, world versus world, empire versus empire, state versus state, total fragmentation, then neighbor against neighbor, molecule versus molecule, atom versus atom, until all there is destroys itself, creation reduced to ash, not even the raw building blocks of matter remaining. Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern, puts a stop to all of this with the winning combination of love and will. TV writer-producer Damon Lindelof comment, notwithstanding, the green in Green Lanterns, green is not stupid. Why does a writer attach himself to this kind of narrative if he thinks it's fundamentally stupid?
Great question.
Great question. You don't hand CSI scripts to patronizing writers who condemn forensic experts and their haircuts as stupid. So
Grant Morrison was doing an interview, and he was, I think it was him. I could be wrong. He was somebody asked him like about writing, and he said that sometimes working for Marvel or I'm not Marvel, DC Comics or whatever you're doing, like he was handed a project that he didn't like that story. He didn't like the hero. He didn't like that character. But he said that his job wasn't to mold the character into something he liked. His job was to figure out, why do people like this story? Why do the fans like this character? And to build off that and to grow it, regardless if he liked it or not. That was his job. And that's super refreshing to hear. Like, that's coming from a writer's perspective. Like, we didn't just, like, that's not how writers act nowadays, unfortunately. Writers are like, man, this character, like, I don't like Batman, so I'm going to make him not Batman and just use the name and make him have powers of, like, turning to yellow goo because my favorite thing in the world is yellow goo. That's the type of writers we have nowadays. Grant Morrison, he's like a true writer, where he's written Green Lantern, he's written Batman, he's written a lot of stuff, and he points out, like, it's not his job to make it something that he likes. It's to make sure that the fans that like this stuff like it even more, and he adds on to it and gives it more depth with his writing style.
Hire people who are ashamed and in denial about the comic book material they've been assigned to develop. Why don't they turn down jobs they're not suited for? It's not like he needs the money, and Lindelof has proven that he can come up with his own ideas. What is this jockish dismissal of superhero conventions intending to prove anyway? Does Lindelof imagine it makes him less nerdy?
He's already dead.
Yeah, Grant Morrison destroyed him.
It's a bit too late for that. So what's this all about? The only people who give a fuck about the Lanterns TV series are Green Lantern fans.
Yes.
Why alienate them from the start? That feels more like stupid. Green Lantern is much more evocative and dramatic a title than Lanterns, just as Raise the Red Lantern is a better movie title than Raise the Lantern. And anyone who can't grasp this shouldn't be anywhere near a superhero series. The show might be good, but how much better could this stuff been if studios were willing to hire the right people for the job instead of, I like this part, phoning their embarrassed friends to water the source material down? Hollywood will die of insularity and inbreeding.
Green Lantern wins.
Oh, okay. That I didn't see the freaking hammer stuff. Holy crap! I didn't read the whole article thing of Grant Morrison, the Green Morrison. Damn, yeah, like he went hard, and that is true. Like when he mentions inbreeding, it's because Hollywood is a circle jerk, right? They're writing it for their friend that's next to them, not for the fans. Damn. Okay. Damn. Okay, let's
Flawless victory.
Oh.
Heroic brutality.
Yes.
That's the thing about Hollywood. They're inbred aliens, Gary. We gotta get them out of here.
I know. He's not wrong. And James Gunn has pretty much based half of his DCU on Morrison stuff.
The Batman stuff is
all Morrison.
Completely on Morrison stuff.
I foolishly, I'm like, let's pretend for a second that he's being honest, that it was just a joke and he absolutely loves the Green Lantern. So, like, how are you so stupid to say that when everyone's watching and listening and invested who is a Green Lantern? Why would you even make the joke instead of clarifying, even after a joke, which we do here every once in a while? We'll be like, for example, seriously though, I love Green Lantern.
Yeah, he makes a good point. Again, I understood the joke. Like he already has clarified, but he should have clarified earlier. Like, guys, like, we're doing the Lantern show. We took the green out of it. I made a joke about it in the past. It was a joke. I don't actually think it's stupid, but the Lantern trailer is coming out soon, and it's because it's more than just green. Like, I wish I could put the Green Lantern title, but because of the way we've written the show, I think you guys will be happily surprised. and I love the title Green Lanterns. I can't wait to do a Green Lantern movie after this show.
Be prominent
Something like
in
that.
this show. Why don't you say something like that to make sure people
on
don't
the shelf a beige suit
instead
Yeah,
of being
beige.
fucking skewered by one of your heroes and then being like, I was joking. Like, we were joking.
Oh, he did it after. Yeah, duh. Yeah. Okay, like.
And that's what he's coming out and saying now. So they're running some not interference. They're doing some PR saying he was just joking. He's really sorry. And Damon Lindelof, I mean, he made a point to say, listen, I'm not going to shit on the fans. The fans are right on this one. I'm not going to make excuses. But that's what you meant. And whether it was his decision or not, the reason it's not called Green Lanterns is because somebody thought green was stupid.
Yes,
that's
100%.
There's no other explanation. And don't give me this other colors of the spectrum.
I don't know. He's saying, okay, wait, hold on.
Shit, the show was originally supposed to be called Green Lantern Corps. So if you're going to talk about multiple Green Lanterns, that's the best way to do it. And that's a better.
That is a better title. I honestly, like, it's not that I disagree with Gary on this one, but I just, he understands Hollywood better than I do. But I do think it's more so, like, he probably is a fan, and he probably did want to do a bunch of, like, again, we'll see when the show launches. If we get, like, all the colors of the lanterns, bunch of different cores, like, all right, like, it would make sense. But if we just get, like, Sinestro and maybe a Red Lantern, but like, they're only in 1 or 2 episodes, and then most of the rest of the show is gonna be just Jon Stewart and Hal as the actual lanterns, then yeah, the lanterns name doesn't work. Green Lantern Corps, that would have been awesome. Again, with the same trailer, it probably would have made the trailer even dumber having this name. But yeah,
much better.
We have been stuck in this fucking position for a very long time, where it be it the name of a character, the costume of a character, the powers of a character. A lot of people seem to think when they're adapting this work that they are so much better than it that they can mention it and be like, how stupid. And
yeah, just so I could point out, remember, it took 20 years and pulling a actor out of retirement off massive hype of a correct superhero suit, Deadpool, to make Wolverine have the yellow suit that everybody thought would just be too ridiculous on screen. It took 20 years to do that. And I'm going to point something out that really bothers me. Even in The Incredible Hulk, which I love that movie. It's not a good movie, but I love that movie. They had a chance. They made the joke. It was a funny joke. But why doesn't Hulk ever wear the purple sweats, the purple pants, man? At least give us once. Like, that's one of those things that's like that in terms of a uniform. He shouldn't be wearing purple pants all the time because it just doesn't make sense for him to always have purple pants. But every once in a while where like he has the ripped pants that it was just purple stretchy pants and just the bottom ripped and it still fit. Awesome. Like, give us one time where the Hulk is wearing purple. You know, like I'd be cool with that. But yeah, it took over 20 years to get Wolverine in a yellow suit. And yeah.
I'm going to use this.
That's exactly why Arrow was called Arrow and not Green Arrow, is because they thought the green made it sound silly, so they ditched it to Arrow. They didn't like green. They thought it was stupid.
I didn't
they
know
actually
this.
made a little joke about it.
The green from the dropped the green from the title because Arrow felt sexier, a little more dangerous. Well, then I wouldn't say it was stupid.
Yeah, at the dinner table one. Yeah.
I think the vigilante needs a better code name than the Hood, or the Hood Guy.
How about Green Arrow?
Lame.
This level of insecurity is even in the good stuff, right? Like, remember they couldn't call him Oswald Cobblepot. They were like, no, Oz Cobb.
Yeah. And that's on great show.
Great
I didn't
show,
even think of that.
And what fucking difference would it have made?
It doesn't.
Like, what benefit did they get from cutting the name off?
Nothing.
Like,
This reminds me of early days when the Hulk show came out, and they didn't call him.
He's gonna say it, but I know this lore. They called David they call him David because they thought Bruce sounded gay. Yeah, they thought Bruce was like it was a gay name, so they needed to call him David.
Bruce Banner because Bruce was a good name.
Bruce they thought was gay.
Was gay.
Bruce is too gay a name.
So funny.
How fucking Bruce fucking Wayne, you dickhead.
I know, but they're all Bruce.
But, you know, that's Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce.
I'm not a fan of
Adam
Adam
We're
West.
gonna call him fucking David Banner instead.
Biggest red flag about this
Black woman
is
Man, look at all that real estate on that forehead, man. It's crazy.
Gary, how dare you?
I mean, I'm not too far.
This is Damon Lindelof who created
The Watchmen.
peak woke TV. This is a scene with Dr. Manhattan presented without comment right now.
I'd be comfortable with him.
I like the name. Calvin.
And she's not a bad actress. She looks terrible. Her acting is terrible. Thanks, David.
In case you
Again, they're probably gonna point it out. They made him black so that she could be more comfortable, because she's not comfortable talking to a blue guy, but he's still blue at his core. So just because, whatever, like, okay.
know that was racist because
Super
Dr.
racist.
Manhattan is white and he turns himself into a black man to make her feel more comfortable.
Yeah, but she says also
That's called magic blackface.
that she's uncomfortable talking to a blue guy who, if he turned himself white, she would have gone still uncomfortable.
Yes.
Because she's certainly implying, I only want to speak to black people. That's the implication here.
So the craziest thing about this as Watchmen was a sequel to the comic book, not the movie.
Yeah.
So if you recall, Dr. Manhattan at the end of Watchmen fucks off to go make his own. He's done with Earth. He's done with everything. Fuck you people. Just was losing his humanity and was going to go create a new, thing. The reason he comes back to Earth is he falls hopelessly in love with that woman.
That's, I'm calling fucking bullshit on that.
Oh, no, she maybe has a good personality.
Like
no,
Haley Atwell. Okay,
yeah. I can believe that. Yeah,
believable.
Regina King.
What? No, no.
That's
out of all the women in the world.
Lanterns, everybody.
Yeah,
not even like Gabrielle Union. Salma Hayek, Haley Atwell, Regina King. Not hating on Regina King. She's insane. She did a great Huey and Dewey. But looks ain't gonna cut it.
Just so people remember, because I don't know how many people remember Lindelof. Like, the thing I always associate him with is Prometheus. It's like, motherfucker destroyed Alien with Ridley Scott, to be fair. And then, of course, you'd be like, well, what else? Like, Star Trek Into Darkness, considered the worst Star Trek movie ever made.
It is the worst Star Trek movie ever made.
Hey, Mahler, quick story. Don't need to break in, but I've told it to you guys before. I'm at Comic-Con, and I'm talking to my friend Derek, and they did a screening of... I can't remember if Prometheus was out or there was a screening, right? So I got to see a screener copy of Prometheus. So it might have been out already, but I got to see it as a screener copy, like on my laptop, and I watched it on my laptop. And I'm sitting there talking about it with Derek Robertson at Comic-Con. I'm like, God, that movie was a piece of shit. Fucking Damon Lindelof is standing right next to me.
Man, I want to know what the freak Damon Lindelof was. It was his reaction. That was there more?
Subscribe.
Oh, bastard, Gary. Come on, you can't just leave it at that. Okay, I didn't watch the live stream, but you can't just leave it like that, man. I need to know. Damon Lindelof cried about it. Like and subscribe, people. That was pretty good. That was like, okay. Again, I think his apology did more than what, like I said, did more than what James Gunn has done for the DC EU. It's at least given a little bit of goodwill. That's like, hey, yo, I effed up. Even if he's just trying to do some damage control, it's like, I effed up. And the fans are the fans, and they don't deserve to get blame or anything like that. The fans are awesome. They're not wrong. You know, like, as much as it might be a PR thing, I'd say, like, there's a little bit of, you know, you got to swallow your pride a little bit to make a statement like that. So, hey, good on him. Again, he's done a lot of stupid things, says a lot of stupid stuff. And so, like, whatever apology he states, it's going to be half believable and half not. So, yeah, who knows? I was, yeah, like, that gave me a little bit more context. I forgot. Like, I read it once, what Grant Morrison said, but I forgot he actually went that hard. And I believe, yeah, like, Grant Morrison has been on every one of those guys' channels as Heel vs. Babyface, Nerdrotic, Mauler. He seems like a pretty cool dude. The only time, here's a quick story. So I've only super chatted one person. And it was Friday Night Tights. But the first time I was gonna super chat, I decided not to, because Grant Morrison did say that the Peter Jackson doesn't know how to end his movies, that the Lord of the Rings trilogy had like 20 endings and it shouldn't have. And I was like, well, I'm no longer freaking Grant Morrison fan. What the freak was that? You don't ever talk bad about the Lord of the Rings trilogy. But then he said something else and I was like, all right. You have some of my forgiveness, but your take on the Lord of the Rings ending, it was terrible. So, but I still love Grant Morrison. He's solid. And Lord of the Rings is perfect. So that's where we differ. Okay. Grant Morrison, you're tight. But, you know. I was really pissed when, like, Lord of the Rings is the greatest thing in cinema. So, like, obviously the books are better. But don't freaking get at me. The movies did some things better than the books. They did. All right. It just did. Biggest one being is Boromir's death. You know, I'm glad that Gimli, Aragorn, and Legolas didn't break out in song. You know, like, and I get it. In the book, it's a very real death. He gets shot by arrows, and then he's just like, he's dead. But I think him, like, trying to get that last breath in and have that dialogue with Aragorn was freaking beautiful. And I think I cry every time. There's been a few times where I haven't, but almost every time I cry when I watch that. So, Grant Morrison, love you. I don't agree with everything, but you're the best, man. You're the best. All right, guys. I don't know. Look, don't get at me. I don't know anything about the Afro Man case. He's written some of the best music I've ever heard. I'm not gonna do anything about Dune because I don't really care. I don't want to see sand dick worms. So, F that. But like and subscribe. Sorry, not doing any Dune stuff, not even reactions. So yeah. But luckily, OBS has given updates, and now there's not little to no lag, because I know that was it was ridiculous. Like a whole week, you guys probably saw the streams were just freaking garbage, just garbage. There's nothing else I want to oh man, I love live streaming, I love it. Nothing else I really want to react to. There's apparently a whole lot of drama happening. I don't freaking know. I don't care about drama, dude. I really do not. But yeah. What the fuck? Here's oh man, what is that podcast? I actually wouldn't mind going on that podcast because there's some things I want to say. There's a podcast, right? It's called what the freak is it called? What are these guys' names? It's like Epicast or whatever. Let me see. It's from the Escape Pod. The Escape Podcast. Let me see. Okay, if you guys never seen these guys, the Escape Pod podcast. Okay. I wouldn't say they're like proper nerds. They might be proper nerds, but they're like a little retarded. Just a little bit. Because their takes, this guy, he believes TASM 2 is like the best superhero movie, or at least the best Spider-Man movie, which is insane. You can like it all you want. You can like it more than everything else. It is a terrible written movie. And he thinks, this guy right here, I don't know if you can see my arrow right above my little screen. He thinks like Batman v Superman is the greatest thing ever. And they both think Superman, James Gunn's Superman, is the greatest Superman to ever exist. Insane. It bothered me so much that I'm like, dude, I gotta talk to these guys. I gotta let them know. Like, I gotta know where their logic is at. Like, I have some questions, and I need to point out what I think is good, what I think is bad, why something makes sense, and why something doesn't make sense. I need them to know. Like, very few podcasts have made me really want to, like, I need to freaking talk to these guys, man. Like, this is bothering the crap out of me. You know, like, I'm very passionate when it comes to fitness. So when I hear people, especially, especially when I hear people talking about women's fitness, and I've always hated when people are like, especially women, like, oh, if you're not a woman, like, shut up. It's like, well, you haven't studied it that well. And I've studied it quite a bit. Not the most, but I know a little something about fitness. And when people are kind of like talking nonsense and not really breaking down the psychological part of things, it really irks me, and I want to talk about fitness. So, yeah, there's a lot of things I do want to talk about, but yeah. And I still have to watch One Piece. So, I've been getting a lot of messages like, yo, like, where's your One Piece review? I probably won't ever make a review. I don't watch the show. My wife used to read the comics back in Korea, but I haven't really, delved deep into it at all, or actually even delved into it, not at all. But yeah, like who knows? Oh, I am kind of curious. Here, maybe we'll react to one more. We're gonna get into the Yu-Gi-Oh a little bit right now. I know you guys don't really care much about that, but Team Samurai. I don't know why I always want to say Team 6 Samurai. Team Samurai. He's made a video, and I think it's about the one that, like, this duel that happened years ago. The grandpa that used Exodia and, like, destroyed the meta using Exodia, which was insane. Like, he won a tournament. But let's see if it's the same thing. Okay.
Bring to win. There are decks you bring to win, and then there's Exodia.
I've assembled all 5 special
cards. By the way, his editing is pretty solid.
Pieces of the puzzle.
But he's kind of like a Logan and Jake Paul, like the old school, like all hype and like little substance. But yeah, like, I think his content has shifted a little bit. Like, it's been a lot more informative, less entertaining, but a lot more informative, and it's actually pretty good content. So there was a time I couldn't stand it.
It's not possible. Exodia, obliterate!
5 pieces, 5 cards. 5 cards that haven't been relevant in competitive play for over a decade. A strategy that exists in the anime as a myth. Something really cool for the show, but not for the real-life game. Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't care about myths, hand traps, 15-card combo lines, boards that can negate everything. This game has evolved into something that Exodia was never designed to survive. And yet, at a Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series, cameras rolling, crowd watching, commentators live, someone assembled all 5 pieces of Exodia.
Hell yeah. And it was Solomon Moto.
This was not at a casual locals.
You see, like, look, this editing, I'm not sure, I don't think it's his, but this editing and this video already is way more hype than any Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament live stream. It is the most mind-numbing, boring garbage that you're gonna ever see is the nowadays YCS and Worlds Yu-Gi-Oh! Streams. It is awful.
Wasn't in a YouTube video.
This looks glamorous,
was
but
a
it's
Yu-Gi-Oh!
not
Championship
that
Series feature match. And the man holding those 5 pieces was a grandpa.
Grandpa, I'm home. And I see you brought company.
Did anything interesting happen this weekend?
Well, I did summon Exodia at YCS Indy.
YCS.
Not much happened.
So this is Jeffrey Leonard. And honestly, Jeff has a great story. He didn't grow up grinding this game. He got into it because of his son. His kid was into Yu-Gi-Oh! Jeff started playing with him, and somewhere along the way, it just clicked. He genuinely fell in love with it. But the way Jeff plays is pretty much different from everyone else in the competitive scene. While other players are studying the meta and learning optimal combo lines, like myself, Jeff is drawn to the mean stuff. The decks that make people uncomfortable. Hold on. He was interested in the strategies that just mess with the flow of the game that nobody was prepared for. For a while, Jeff was known for running Mystic Mind.
Oh my gosh.
A field spell so
Guess
oppressive
about Yu-Gi-Oh!
that Konami just
Yeah.
banned it outright. And when that happened, Jeff didn't just pick up a meta deck. He started playing Exodia. Shoutouts to Jeff, man. Now, and this is important, let's talk about who Jeff is actually playing against. Sitting across from him is Justin Singh. Justin is a legit competitive player. Multiple Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series tops, a proven track record at the highest level of this game. He's not the kind of guy who shows up to a YCS hoping to run well. He's the kind of guy who shows up expecting to make a deep run because he's done it before. And he's on Tier Elements, which at this point in the format is one of the strongest decks in the game. So just to put this in perspective, Jeff, a grandpa running Exodia, is sitting down across from one of the better players at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship against one of the best decks of the format, playing on stream live at a feature match table. Jeff did not stumble across a soft matchup. This is Justin Singh he's playing against, and he's playing Tier Elements.
By the way, Tier Elements, I hate so much. I hate Tier Elements, man. It's just awful. It's just the freaking worst. But, by the way, Team Samurai, I am very impressed with your recent videos. I might subscribe again because I've been unsubscribed to this fool for a long time. Like, I think a lot of YouTubers, they go through this where like they make like videos just for the hype and like there's not really any substance to it. It's just being like obnoxious or over the top, and it's all like clickbait stuff. But I think he's kind of found his groove. Like, this video is really, really good. I love the editing. Like, I'm not, and this isn't to be a critique. I'm actually trying to react to this, but I'm really impressed of like the difference in the last time I really watched his stuff to this time. Like, it's good.
Before we get into the match, I want to quickly break down both decks, because if you don't understand what each player is working with, you won't fully know how crazy it gets. Let's break it down. First, we got Justin's deck, Tier Elements. So Tier Elements is a fusion-based strategy, but the way it fuses summon is what makes it so unique. Instead of using traditional fusion spells like polymerization, Tier Element monsters trigger off when being sent to the graveyard and shovels himself back into the deck as fusion materials on the spot, which means the deck is constantly generating advantage just from cards being milled or cards being sent to the grave via their effects. The end boards that Tier Element players try to build consists of cards like Collateral Heart on the field, Predator Plant Draco's Sepalia, Totally Awesome, and Baron the Floor, all of which are either negating, bouncing, or just locking down all your opponent's options. Negates, and more negates. That's what Tier Element does, bro. And here's what makes this deck absolutely crazy. This deck plays during your turn. Tier Element's entire slogan is, it's not your turn, it's our turn, broski. Tier Elements can trigger and fusion summon during either player's turn. Your battle phase doesn't matter. You're always having to play around their effects. Take it into perspective, okay? This deck was so dominant during the time that Konami had to ban their combo piece, which is Tier Element Kid Kalos. And the deck was still powerful afterwards.
But isn't it back now?
Dentalife dog treats help
Oh
clean
my
teeth
gosh.
and taste great. Treat their teeth every day.
It's only
with
6
Dentalife.
seconds. Dentalife,
With the
everybody.
banning
Dentalife.
of Kikalos. That's how powerful the Tier Element engine is. As long as you get access to a fusion summon, Tier Elements are broken. And Justin knows his deck inside and out. There is absolutely no fluke of him sitting on a future match table. Now let's talk about Grandpa's deck. The goal is simple.
Okay,
Get
here we
all
go.
5 pieces of Exodia into your hand and instantly win on the very first turn. And of course, just like the anime, if you guys do not know what Exodia does, if you assemble
You win. You just freaking win, dude. It's the freaking best.
all 5 pieces of Exodia, you win.
Exodia is the only when I could tell that the on Master Duel if somebody's assembling Exodia, it's one of the only decks I will never quit. I would be gladly accepting my defeat when Exodia is summoned.
And when a lot of people hear Exodia, they picture the old school version. 1 day a piece, Power Duality, Swift Scarecrow, Jar of Greed, just slowly drawing cards and hoping you get there before your opponent kills you. Also, fun fact, did you know that this type of Exodia deck, the ones with Duality, Jar of Greed, Swift Scarecrow, 1 day of peace, did top a Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship, ladies and gentlemen. In 2012, Jarrell Pro Winston actually took this deck to Worlds and made it into the top 8. Pretty cool, right? But that version is just so far gone. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has gone so much faster than what it was in 2012.
Yeah,
and in 2012, I was like, what,
boring.
15 years old? That was a long time ago, bro. I'm almost 30. Damn. The difference between then and now is that Jeff's
that Asianness, it keeps you young forever, dude.
Is not fair. It's way faster than the one in 2012. This is modern Exodia, turbocharged by the Link mechanic, and the whole combo starts off with one single card, Neospace Connector. When you normal summon Connector, it lets you access any Neospatian monster directly from your deck. Jeff is going for a Warrior Neospatian monster, which is Neospatian Aqua Dolphin, which lets you look at your opponent's hand and discards the monster that's going to stop you before you even start. And during this format, the card that kills this deck is Droll and Lockbird. If your opponent has Droll, they can shut your entire combo down instantly because this combo requires you to search multiple cards directly from your deck to your hand. So if your opponent has Droll Lockbird and you would a normal summon Connector and they have that Droll in the hand, since Connector summons Neospatian directly from the deck, you're going to be able to discard Droll directly to the graveyard. Aqua Dolphin lets Jeff seize the threat before he even attempts to even combo off. And once Connector resolves, the entire combo begins. From here...
Wait. Let me read that.
Let's Jeff directly from the...
Okay, if a card is added from the main deck to your opponent's hand, except during the draw phase, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard for the rest of the turn. Yeah, okay. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon. Okay, you special summon. You don't add it from... It doesn't add from the main deck to the hand. Okay.
You're going to be able to discard Droll directly to the graveyard. Aqua Dolphin lets Jeff seize the threat.
Again, you guys know that for me, wording is extremely important. That's why I really get pissed off at Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah. My bad.
The entire combo begins. From here, Jeff just needs 2 warrior monsters. As you guys can see, Neospace Connector is a warrior, and Aqua Dolphin is a warrior. And what happens once you have 2 warriors on the field during that time, you can easily link them off for Isolde, 2 Tales of the Noble Knights. And once Isolde touches the field, the game instantly ends. Jeff's plan is simple. 2 warrior monsters on field, get access to Isolde, Once Isolde resolves, you win the game with all 5 pieces of Exodia.
How?
This is not your typical grandfather's Exodia. Well, actually, in this case, it literally is.
Let me read this card.
Guys, I remember this match vividly, but I haven't
Okay. If this card is Link Summon, you can add 1 warrior monster from your deck to your hand. But for the rest of the turn, you cannot normal summon that set or special summon monsters with that name, nor activate their monster effects. You can send any number of equip spells with different names from your deck to the graveyard. Special summon 1 warrior monster from your deck. Choose level equals to the number of cards sent to the graveyard. You can only use. Okay. So how,
you win the game
combo here?
with all 5 pieces of Exodia. It literally meant because I actually attended this YCS. I was at the YCS when this happened, and I remember this is the craziest story ever because the crowd was going crazy, bro. But I haven't seen the entire match. Okay, so let's take a look at this for the very first time since 2023. Here we go.
Here
all right,
guys.
guys.
One soon we'll find out who won that all-important die roll.
Who won the die roll, bro?
And we have Tearlament versus Exodia.
Yo, guys, you hear that? Jeff said he'll go first. And both of these guys are 3-0 at this point. Justin Singh, strong competitive player right here.
Going first.
One of the best players in the game for sure. And then we got Grandpa Jeff here.
Has won the die roll.
Okay. So Jeff won the die roll. You guys see that? Connector in hand. You guys already know what that means. Connector in hand. If that resolves, he wins the game, bro.
See it go all the way through. Now, Tearlament's not known to play disruptions from the hand.
Stand by main. Obviously, 4 rolls didn't exist at that time.
All the way. So the Tearlament strategy does have some points of interaction here. There's Herald of the Orange Light, which is sometimes played.
Connector, bro. Yo, if I was facing against a grandpa and he goes normal connector and he looks at me like that, bro. Yo, I'm shaking his hand. I'm like, you got it, Gramps. You just got it, bro. I don't know what you're up to, bro, but game 2, man. You ain't gonna know what I'm playing, bro. I'm scooping up that deck. So Jeff right here in his hand has Neospace Connector. He has Instant Fusion. He has Ignite Templar in his hand. I'm not too sure what the other card in his hand is, but the last spell he has in his hand is Instant Contact. This card is an Elemental Hero card, which reads, pay 1,000 life points, special 1 level 7 or Elemental Hero or Neospacian monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning condition.
They could have done the same thing.
In this case, he does play Elemental Hero Flare Neos, which is just another warrior monster, which just gives him an additional body to make his ult, okay? So obviously, the entire deck's goal is to get access into his ult, all right? So you know what's crazy? Oh, he has Fire Flint Lady. So the last card in his hand is Fire Flint Lady. And Fire Flint Lady, bro, this hand is so gas. Like, what the frig, bro? Yo, the last card in his hand is Fire Flint Lady, okay?
Dude.
Do you guys know what's crazy? Like I said earlier, that Neospace Connector was like, it's like if it resolves, you win.
So the Tearlament strategy does have some points of interaction here. There's Herald of the Orange Light, which is sometimes played in the strategy.
By the way, this connector was a bait. This connector didn't even have to resolve that. Like,
because he's trying to use Ash Blossom. Is that why it's a bait? What?
Even if Justin, okay, somehow Orange Light this. You guys know Herald of Orange Light? Discard itself, another fairy to negate a monster effect and destroy it. Let's say connector flops and it didn't resolve. Okay? Yo, Grandpa, Solomon Jeffrey Moto had instant fusion and instant contact, giving him still 2 warrior monsters on the field to make his ult. This connector was a bait.
The fairy count. In addition to that, you could also potentially see.
But it resolved. Oh, like what?
Putting a card like Shadal Window.
Look at that dolphin. You know, summon dolphin.
Your mills are blessed.
Wow, your mills are blessed, bro.
So we're gonna start off with connector into the Aqua Dolphin.
Send
Aqua
for
Dolphin
cost,
is
bro.
going to get a quick little peek.
He doesn't have to shuffle.
Justin's hand. Set for cost.
Send Fire Flint Lady.
This will not only give us insight into whether or not Justin has any interaction. It's also going to tell Jeffrey if the coast is clear.
Send for cost. No hand traps, bro.
Oh, he's effed.
So in Justin's hand, he has Danger Nessie, Kelbeck, all right, Shadal Squamata, Danger Mothman.
This is what you call a brick.
And Tearlament Palarino, okay? This is the field spell. So if he had, you know,
so he can't
like
do anything during his turn. This
would have been a problem because Kelbeck is going to be able to mill 5 and he can potentially play on Jeff's turn. But bro, no hand traps, bro. Yo, So if Justin went first, Jeff was cooked, man. No cap. Like, wow. This is such a die roll matchup, bro. It's so hilarious. Okay.
Although we know what Jeffrey is trying to accomplish, which is to assemble all 5 pieces of the Forbidden One on the opening turn. So it'll be interesting to see if Kelbeck can actually work as an interruption.
He does have a Kelbeck.
So we're going to take the 2 warrior monsters, and we're going to perform a Link Summon into Assault. Search, first effect.
Wow. So
I think I have that first.
So guys, the whole deck's main goal is summon Assault and you win.
So typically you search a card.
All right.
Generally speaking, that's just going to be.
And he's going to search Templar. I think he has Gallon in hand. And guys, remember, he cannot use Templar's monster effect for the rest of the turn. But the thing about Ignites is that they're normal monsters, which they have no effects. But once you put them in scale, they become pendulums, right? So that actually bypasses a Zold. And you can use Templar's effect in scale.
Do with the first effect, and then of course now the second effect is going to put a monster on the field. That will likely reveal exactly where Jeffrey's going to be going with this opening turn.
So it's going to cost. He's going to send, of course, the Durandal.
This deck is going to incorporate,
and Durandal can summon Runoff.
Starting to see it, a variety of fire warrior monsters. There's Ignites in here. There's, in addition to that, a variety of other warrior monsters. It seems as though Jeffrey's strategy is in some way, shape, or form based on the idea of putting 2 warriors on the field as fast as possible, as reliable as possible.
Wow. Okay. So guys, so right here, what's happening is that Kelbeck has a special ability, okay? What Kelbeck does is that if a card is sent from the hand or deck to your opponent's graveyard, you can target one special summon monster your opponent controls, special summon this card from your hand, then return that monster to the hand. So it's going to be able to actually compulsory evacuation device that Azold back to the hand because Azold sent Durandal to the graveyard to summon Ronald directly from the deck.
We aren't going to see the Kelbeck activated because a card was sent from the deck to the graveyard. That's going to summon a Kelbeck and return the Assault back into the extra deck.
Yeah, but that is okay because why? Jeff already has instant fusion, and he already has, ladies and gents, instant contact in his hand, so he's gonna be able to extend regardless.
To assume he knows the path from this point,
and
with
of course, Durandal will get added to the hand because of Ronald.
And he's gonna add back.
I think Jeff's a little bit nervous though.
Every individual play can really matter.
So Jeff is going to equip Durandal to Ronald, and Durandal can pop itself to add a copy of Ignis Phoenix to Draco Slayer directly from next to hand. So it's broken, bro.
Decision making has to be altered a little bit. But right now, it should be more or less green light for Jeff.
That's part of the combo, guys. He needs to get access to Ignis Phoenix, the Draco Slayer, directly from next to hand, and then he can activate instant fusion. Pay 1,000 life points. He can summon Flame Swordsman directly.
I'm not like speaking a whole lot because I'm like, I'm really liking Team Samurai's explanation of all this.
Extra decks, move it.
You know.
Then you go instant contact to summon, of course, Flare Neels. So guys, that connector never needed to resolve, bro. That connector was just bait.
And now this is
and he can make another Isolde as well.
Like he's brought out Elemental Hero Flare Neo.
Yeah, but another Isolde. He just needs a Link 2 on the field.
I think every single monster.
And then now he can place his scales.
And that's
here,
a Flaming Swordsman fusion.
And
nice.
That's definitely going to be the case. He has another.
I just love seeing old school cards.
And he can activate Templar effect in scale to pop the Ignis Heat here, which gets to add, of course, the Gallant directly from deck, or like or the Crusader. Yep, he searches Crusader, and then Ignis Phoenix will get a trigger. And if you guys do not know what Ignis Phoenix does, this card right here, Ignis Phoenix Draco Slayer. If this card in the field is destroyed by battle card effect, you can special one Draco Slayer or one Ignite monster from your deck, except for Ignis Phoenix the Draco Slayer. And if you do, it is treated as a tuner. So whenever it gets popped, in this case, Templar pops
Thanks for reading. I was never
going to
read the
floats like a tour guide into a Gallant directly from the deck.
Like
and that card will be treated as a
pendulum cards.
And then he can summon Gallant directly from the deck. This card's a tuner. This card's a level 6 plus a level 1 Ronald. Ronald is not a tuner, by the way, because it wasn't summoned by its own effect. And then he gets to summon this card right here. This card is called Symphonic Warrior Rocks. And what this card does is, this card is special summon. You can add one face-up pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. So basically what he does is that, so if you guys did not notice, he searched Crusader earlier on during the turn, okay, which is a 2 scale. And Rocks basically lets him add back the missing scale from his extra deck. In this case, it will be a Templar, which is a 7 scale.
Renard might not be a tuner in this case.
This becomes a tuner from.
Oh, if it's summoned.
Oh,
You're Zit.
ew, what the hell?
I wouldn't miss your wedding for the world.
Commercial is that? What the
From
freak?
the Ignister. Or the Ignis.
Yeah, Gallant becomes a tuner if it summons off the Ignister's effect.
Slayer does make it a tuner.
We're all good.
Rather. We're continuing. Jeff knows what he's doing.
That's what happens when you get old. That's what happens when you get old.
He's the only guy I know that can play Mystic Mind and no one would hate on him. Like, he's actually the GOAT. That was actually
is that a freaking Pot of Greed and Blue Eyes White Dragon rug? I'm gonna have to go through his channel and see where he got those, because that's freaking sick. I want that.
Justin's laughing. He's like, yo, how did I miss this match, bro? That's hilarious. So like I said, he can add Templar, which is the 7 scale. And now he has Crusader and the 7 scale. And now he's going to make, of course, I think right here, Cross Cheap. No, Beyond the Pendulum. Beyond the Pendulum.
Okay.
Beyond the Pendulum. This card can search the missing combo piece, which is going to be Harmonizing Magician, I believe. Yes, sir.
Definitely, Jeffrey knows exactly how he was going to be able to perform a pendulum.
And then he can complete his scales right now. Scale 7, scale 2. And now he can pendulum summon his higher hand. And now he's lit. And now the combo begins. He's gonna pendulum summon the Ignis and the Gallant and of course the Harmonizing Magician. And the Harmonizing can summon, of course, the Porper Poison. And the reason why this is important is because he's gonna use those 2 monsters to make the Xyz. Okay? Right here, he's gonna get access to Time Star Magician. And Time Star Magician is ridiculous, okay? If you guys don't know what Time Star Magician does, once per turn, you can attach 1 Xyz from this card, add 1 Dark Spellcaster type monster directly from your deck to hand. What? What is he searching?
Times before this event.
What is he searching?
That one interaction, you know, required him to recalibrate a little bit.
Exodia pieces.
I think
he's searching Exodia. He's searching the head, bro. The head always comes first, bro. Head always comes first. Look at Justin's face. He's like, bro, I'm gonna get cooked, bro. Lock the hell in,
Exodia is one of those cards, one of those like cards that's just like, it's fun to lose to. Exodia is just fun to lose to,
but
man.
then, guys, I want you guys to see what Jeff is doing. Okay, this is why Yu-Gi-Oh is so beautiful.
Look. This is the first time I'm actually going through that whole duel because the commentating is so boring. I think he's even done videos about this duel before, but it's just like I just wouldn't gravitate, you know, like it just wouldn't be entertaining. Like Worlds and YCS, they have a really tough time making anything entertaining for a viewer to watch because people play like this. They have cards and they're like, It's so boring. They're just pointing like resolve. Yeah. Reaction. Like, it's. I hate how, you know, competition nerds play Yu-Gi-Oh. It's just that's not how Yu-Gi-Oh should be played. You should be announcing stuff, just like the freaking show.
If you guys read Time Star Magician's secondary effect, once per turn, if a Pendulum monster cards in your monster zone or Pendulum zone will be destroyed in battle or card effect, you can send 1 spellcaster type monster from your deck to the graveyard instead. So it has a built-in protection. What he's doing is that he's using Templar's effect to attempt to pop the other scale Crusader, and then he's using Time Star to protect it by sending a spellcaster to the graveyard instead.
Longer the case.
Look at that. Like, Justin's reading like, what the... Like, look at Justin's face. He's like, what the hell is going on? Like, what the hell is going on? While Jeb is like, yo, I'm about to cook your ass, man.
Okay. Hey, Justin, I think he's starting to realize that he is about to experience Exodia the Forbidden One on the very first turn.
And this is going to send, of course, the Blue Dragon Summoner. And what this card does is that if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Dragon Warrior or Spellcaster normal monster from your deck to your hand. Time Star Magician gets your Exodia the head, while whenever Blue Dragon Summoner gets sent to the graveyard, Blue Dragon Summoner is going to be able to keep searching the missing Exodia pieces directly from deck to hand. So now he's linking away Time Star Magician and Beyond the Pendulum to get access to Celine. And Celine is really important because Celine will get counters on the field, and Celine can revive back a spellcaster from the graveyard, in this case, Blue Dragon Summoner. So that way that if he links away Blue Dragon Summoner again, you basically get to search the missing Exodia pieces. So Celine has 5 counters on it, and she only needs 3 counters to be removed to reborn back the spellcasters from the grave. So now Celine's gonna revive back the Blue Dragon Summoner.
The Blue Dragon Summoner.
And then now I think Jeff is gonna link Blue Dragon Summoner and Celine into Cross Sheep. Insane. Yeah, Cross Sheep. And then Blue Dragon Summoner, when it's sent to the grave, we're gonna search an Exodia piece. Okay. You see that? He's searching an Exodia piece. Yo, Justin is cooked. And he's reading it. He's like, yo, bro. He's reading the 5 words. He's like, shit, man. He's like, bro, I'm gonna get destroyed. And now he's in Contact Fuse into Dynamite.
The Fusion Draco Slayer.
Okay. Because he has 2 Ignisers on the field and the Gallant. And now, if a fusion monster is summoned in Cross Sheep Zone, Cross Sheep can revive back a monster from the grave for free, right? Level 4 or lower. So he's gonna revive back Blue Dragon Summoner because Dynamite was summoned in the Cross Sheep Zone. So this can bring back the Blue Dragon Summoner again. Okay. And then he makes Celine again because Cross Cheap is a link 2 and Celine is a link 3. And then Blue Dragon Summoner, whenever it's sent to the graveyard, gets to search again.
That's an arm.
That's an arm. And he used Celine again. Celine is not once per turn, by the way. You can revive back Blue Dragon Summoner again. And then he used the 3 monster again. Celine, Dynamite, and Blue Dragon to make a third Celine. Justin, look at Justin's face where he's cooked.
He's like,
adds another piece, okay. And then Celine can revive back Blue Dragon Summoner again.
That sucks, and it's awesome at the same time.
Look at his face, bro. Look at Jeff's
All
face.
right.
He's like, sorry,
Hell
bro.
yeah.
I'm
All
sorry,
right.
man.
You chilling.
Bro,
You
I gotta
chilling.
do it to you, bro. And then Appaloosa obviously is banned right now, and he's gonna search the last piece of Exodia right here because it was sent to the graveyard one last time. Oh my god.
So good. So good. Yeah.
Boom.
Solomon Moto right there. Okay, look.
I was at this
That
YCS,
was a
but I wasn't
hardcore
able to
laugh.
see that match because I was dueling, bro. Like I was in my match, fam. You know what I'm saying? But
That's look. So, as entertaining and awesome as that is, it's one of the big problems with Yu-Gi-Oh right now. Like whoever goes first wins, and it sucks. It's no longer 30 turns, 40 turns. You know, like a card like Fiber Jar, where like you could go through your whole deck and then Fiber Jar flip, summon, and add the deck, graveyard, hand all together, and both of you restart, but with different life points. And all. It's almost impossible to do that. Like actually play the game. It sucks, right? Like didn't even go to another person's turn, and that's one of the bad things that like. You know, it's not a balanced game, and it's one of the bad things about Yu-Gi-Oh! As entertaining as it is, it's awesome, it's cool. You know, but at the same time, it's not the best thing for the game.
Actually insane.
Amazing.
So now it's game 2, bro. Both of these decks do one thing and one thing only. The FTK going first. Well, Exodia literally first turn kills you. But Justin's deck designs to put up so many negates and disruptions that doesn't allow you to actually play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Whatsoever. And obviously, Jeff doesn't have any disruptions at this point because you can see by Justin's end board during game number 2. His end board consists of Draco's Stapelia, SP Little Knight, Kaleido Heart, and also the Sprint right here, right? And SP Little Knight is actually really good against his deck because once a Zold gets summoned, Justin can just chain SP Little Knight on his Zold. That just removes the Link 2 body completely, and it won't be able to actually bring out another warrior monster because it's no longer on the field, right? So SP literally checks his Zold instantly, and the 2 back rolls right here, absolutely insane. And a Sulik face down as well, which is scary.
Yeah.
So like, how does Jeff navigate through this? Okay, and
Dark-
even though
he
Jeff
has
had
Dark Ruler
no more,
yeah.
look at Jeff. So Jeff is gonna Santa Claus.
Tier elements crime.
Santa Claus.
Santa
has
Claus?
come to town, and it has
Santa Claus on the
distributed
SP?
off the screen. 2 Santa Clauses have been taken out.
Damn! And if you guys are probably wondering what's going on, is that whenever a card is summoned while Justin controls a Chillamant monster, Chillamant Scream lets you mill the top 3 cards of your deck. In this case, he milled, a Chillamant Kristira, and he also milled Squamata, which is going to let him mill essentially 4 cards, to the and then Javis is gonna scoop because at this point, like, he still had Kaleido Heart and also Draco Stapelia. I think looking at Justin's hand, he had double Santa Claus, Dark Ruler, and Exodia piece. He just didn't have any good starters. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't have Connector.
Also,
he didn't have
just
any ways to
quit.
get 2 warriors on the
That
field
sucks.
against Predator Plant, Draco Stapelia, and also Kaleidoscope with the 2 back row as well. Wow, Justin milled the Kristira Chillamant and also the Skamata as well. So, like, Jeff is actually just cooked. Yeah, and you see that he has Exodia piece and also Magical Midbreaker on the field. And he's just gonna take it back and he's just gonna scoop, which is the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? And you actually don't want to lose into time, you know? So now Justin takes game 2.
Oh yeah,
Game
time
number
is
3, bro.
Exodia the Forbidden One.
Again, see, like,
Okay, what is
this
Jeff's-
is why competition sucks. Like, it's not fun. It's a game of rock paper scissors. It essentially becomes that. Whoever goes first wins. Congratulations. Like, whoever gets the first die roll, you're gonna win the match most likely because you went first. All you have to do is quit the second game, and then go first again for the third, and then you win the match because you saved yourself time, and that's a strategy. You could just be like, okay, you win this one. now let me play the game, so you don't get to play it. Yeah.
So
And
Jeff has
that-
no space connector for sure.
Again, that's a problem with the rules, the timing, and the structure of the game.
Who has
I would
jump
imagine
forward in his hand?
Broken Hands have the combo. It's really a question of does Justin have a counter?
Normal summon connector effect.
Okay, so special summon jump forward.
Oh my god, special summon
Have the connector.
effect.
We know the connector gets you there. Okay, this looks like it might be a Herald.
Insane. Herald is actually insane here because it negates the effect and also gets rid of a body, so that way that Jeff doesn't go into his ult. And a lot of you guys are probably wondering, yo, why doesn't he just wait for his ult to summon? Well, if Connector Resolve summons Dolphin can actually get rid of the Herald in hand.
Okay.
Then he can make a ult either way, right? So this was a really good Herald of the Orange Light right here. If he had another, Chalamet name like Kelbeck or Guido, oh my goodness, bro. This would have been like a steamrolled game. And this is already using Jeff's normal summon already, which is... And he has no way to extend. He has Gallant in his hand, another connector, and Ronaldo in hand. Oh my god, he's passing, bro. Oh, okay, he's summoning Ronaldo. Oh, that plays illegal?
Does it only need a warrior monster?
No, it needs a fire warrior monster. That plays illegal.
Or am I... Oh, no, we are...
Okay, that was a mistake.
Okay, it's fire only. Oh.
Okay, it's a mistake. Happens. And he's passing here.
His face has sour.
Damn.
Oh, man. Gotta be a fire warrior.
Pass!
Okay, so
Damn,
that's
it's done. It's over. Oh my god,
Is
Jeff
it over,
pass.
though?
I actually don't remember what happened here. Oh my god! And he passed back.
Cause he bricked.
Yo, this is why Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the greatest game on the planet, bro. This is literally the anime moment, bro. You're playing, Jeff was playing.
This is how it's supposed to be. Anime moments. All right? It shouldn't be rock, paper, scissors. Like, you didn't draw the good enough. Neither of you draw the best hand. So it's now up to, like, your skill of building the deck and drawing the right card and making the right combos. Like, that's what it's supposed to be about. Again, it should go for a lot of turns, but this
best
is...
deck in the entire room.
This is solid.
Elements. And Justin
Solid.
sent one pass, bro.
All right.
Do you know why, right? Diviner of the Herald right here, as you guys see that's in his graveyard, was his only starter. And you guys are probably wondering, yo, how is this card a starter in his deck? Well, Herald, when it's summoned, gets to dump any fairy monster directly from the deck or extra deck to the grave. So in this case, he could dump a Guido or Kelbeck to start milling 5. This was his only starter. He said 1 and he passed.
That buys Jeffrey another turn to try again. And
and he has connector in his hand, bro.
Man.
This is Yu-Gi-Oh, bro.
He needs to draw. He's so excited.
Oh, he has to draw first.
Look at Justin being like, he needs to draw.
Ash, bad Ash. Bad Ash, fam. Bad Ash, Justin, man.
Ash sucks
Well,
regardless.
it didn't matter, actually. He had to Ash here because he's summoning Dolphin and he's losing Ash anyway. So, sorry, man. I'm correcting myself. That's a good Ash. He had to Ash there, but it didn't matter because you already had connector and jump forward. And like I said earlier, guys, all you had to do is get 2 warriors on the field, and when there's 2 warriors, you win the game.
Get there. We got 50
Ash,
minutes on the clock, still available. Let's
biggest
play.
gay card ever.
Oh my god.
Oh, same. Zodia, the Forbidden One. Needed the last little drops.
Another leg.
Holy F my life.
One more piece. The crowd is chanting. One more piece.
One more piece.
This is a historical moment.
That is hilarious, bro. The crowd is cheering one more piece. I did remember people were cheering that when I was in my match at this YCS. That was insane.
In games 1 and 3. Appaloosa? Oh, just for the extra.
Oh my, I'm getting goosebumps watching this match, man.
Appaloosa at the end of this. This is clean. This is very clean. We got the other.
And Justin is good sport, clapping away. That is insane!
Yeah. I would have laid it out on the field.
So wholesome, bro.
Hell yeah.
Man.
This is the kind of feature match we love to see. This is one of the most iconic events. Billy earlier today talked about this building having something about it in Yu-Gi-Oh's history.
That was insane. You guys saw the crowd going wild, cheering, one more piece, one more piece, one more piece. That was epic, guys. And you guys see how crazy Yu-Gi-Oh is? The fact that Justin bricked, oh my God, Jeff is playing Exodia. It felt like you're watching an episode of the anime, bro. I'm not even capping. Like, the best deck in the room, Tier Elements, bricking in a game 3 of a future match against Junk Forward Pass. That is insanity, bro. You guys cannot make this up. And guys, look at the crowd, man. Look at the crowd, bro. They were going wild. And it's not that Jeff won, but how he won and who he beat. He built a deck that nobody took seriously. Brought it to one of the biggest Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship tournaments in the entire world. Sat down across a legitimate pro and a legitimate top tier deck. And not only that, he also won. And somewhere in between all that, he put together one of the most memorable moments in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! history. That's the story of Jeffrey Leonard at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series, Indianapolis. And honestly, guys, that was a pretty good one. This is a story of how a grandpa shocked the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! world. I'll catch you guys on the next story. Peace out.
I am very, very impressed with Team Samurai's video. That was a good one. You know, that's probably why he's the biggest. I think he's the biggest Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTuber. Go subscribe to him. Like and subscribe, people. To me as well. But yeah, it was a freaking good video. It's a good reminder of why we love Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a solid reminder, because especially that last duel, like, it's the heart of the card moments, the moments of like not having the best hand and doing what you can with it. Obviously, it's better if it's like a full blown game, you know, like real Yu-Gi-Oh! It isn't just you know, rock, paper, scissors, solitaire stuff. But yeah, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still the greatest game in the world. And that's why me and my business partner are creating the tournament. But yeah, it's freaking awesome. I think that's going to be it for the live stream, guys. Remember, like and subscribe. But that's it for today. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Yeah. Spider-Man.